Alright, what is up? Welcome everybody. I am back with yet another video in the Unreal Engine game series we're currently recording, where we are trying to make our own action co-op RPG game. So let's just get into it. Or before we start, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Consider joining the patrons there's a link in the description. Yada yada, the good old thank you for watching stuff. Let's just get this going. We are working on the combat system. We have attacks from our enemy. It's not working exactly as intended, but let's keep working on it to make it better. So I think we need to add some attack rotation, because you see attack tracing or whatever it's called. So because right now if I stand behind and I'm close enough, he will just keep attacking me. And he stops attacking me for some reason when I'm this close. But we need it to turn around. So let's have a look at that. Can we go into our master NPC maybe? And in the behavior graph, we are gonna add there are some ways we could do this. Let's do it with a timeline. So we will add a custom event and we will call this server set attack rotation. Run this on the server. It doesn't really matter, we're always on the server on the AI. But let's do a server event because the clients don't need to know about it. Let's do a input of actor. Call it attack target. Let's do a timeline. Call it attack rotation timeline. And we will plug this into play from start. Go into the timeline. Let's do something like 0.5 seconds. Add a track and call it alpha track. And this is a float track. Go back here and we will use this alpha to rotate the character. So on update, we want to set actor rotation. And we want to get actor rotation. We want to use ourselves as the rotation. And we want to now actually get actor location and get actor location. Find look at rotation. And this is what we want to rotate to. But we only want to rotate on the yaw, because we don't want to like a pitch and roll or like you're gonna pivot and look down in the floor or whatever. We only want to rotate on the feet's direction. So we will use this split. So we will make rotator. So we use the current value of the actor for the other ones. So this is the target. Then we want to get active rotation. Maybe this should be a variable. Let's not do it as a variable first. Let's see what happens. Do a lerp rotator and we will use this alpha. And the start, the A will be active rotation, B will be the rotator. Don't I already have this function in the master character when I think about it? I have this already. So I can probably just use that. Replicate rotate character. Just see if that works. I'm gonna do lerp time of 0.5, and this is what I showed you the last time. So this rotation timeline is always 1. And then we can divide the lerp time 1 by the lerp time to manually set the duration of this timeline. So grab this. By getting the current target. And I'm not sure if this will work at all, but let's see. And it is not working. I just want to see if it works when we play as the server. Guess in this case, maybe we do want our own function. Let me just pause and see what the issue is here. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, it seems we actually should use this function. I got a bit confused by myself. So in our master character, we have this replicated rotate character. Replicated set character rotation. Because I already have this function from playing around with TPP, so that's why I have this. But could this actually So anyway, that's not the point. This is more for the player actually, because this is executed by the client, and so this is like replicating client rotation. But the NPC is already on the server, and it's not controlled by a player controller. It's controlled by an AI controller. So the rules are a bit different here. So we don't need to like multicast or change the rotation here in any way to adjust for input and lag and stuff like that, because there is no input. There's only ever the actor rotating. So there's nothing we need to do here to actually make this smoother or nicer, because each client will just see the replication when they see them. So we will rename this, call it NPC set NPC set rotation. And we do as we did before. So this is over 1 second. I will make an input. Time. Lerp time. And do rename this to NPC rotation timeline, because there might be other times that we want to actually rotate the NPC than just attacking. NPC rotation timeline, and we will then do a get NPC rotation timeline, set play rate, to divide, but start with 1. So 1 divided by the lerp time. That will make it so that whatever we input as lerp time, if we 0.5, it will be 0.5 seconds. This lerp time, because 1 divided by 0.5 is 0.5, and the timeline is 0.5. 1 divided by 1 is 1, and so on. And so that's the function we should use in this utility tick. So whenever we attack, we do NPC set rotation, input the attack target, and then we do maybe 0.5 seconds. And you will now see that will no longer attack in the wrong direction. Even if I stand behind, the NPC will turn around to attack us. And we kind of need to adjust the values here a little bit. But let's also do this. Since this is actually not, it's part of the master character, but it's never gonna be used by the NPC. So let's move it to the master player. Let's move it here. And in the master character, we also have that DP replicated character rotation. I'm gonna copy this. And in here, we are gonna create matching function. I'm gonna paste in the code that we have. And this will be into rotation timeline. File, fresh, to select everything, and fresh. And we need to compile the master character, I believe. Should be able to compile this. There we go. And we just need to make sure. Sorry, that's all stuff. Can ignore that. I think that's fine. Still seems to work. That seems to look fine. Now, this down. This down. And we might also want to do. Just gonna check. This is actually quite. Because it's also the fact that it's like tracing. Kind of traces at the start of the attack, but it turns very quickly when turning around, so we might want to increase that. Let's do 1 second. See what happens. Yeah, no, that just makes the tracing longer. So design choice, I don't think it's very nice with too aggressive tracing that lasts for a long time. So we will do like this. Drag this a little out. Mount this to a variable. Target rotation. Actually, we could do like this. Make an input. Let's remove this. So now, because when we have this plugged in, right, it's calculating the new position every frame. So if we move, it's gonna try to reach a new position. But with this, it's a static variable instead, the static inputs, because this gets fired once. So this won't change during the entire timeline. And then we can just delete this because it's unnecessary to have a variable for it. We're gonna copy this in our utility tick. We're gonna paste this in. Get target. Oh, we have the current target here. I'm gonna refresh this. Remove the attack target. Because now it's a better reusable function because maybe we don't want a target, we just want a actual rotation. And then we can plug this in. And I'm gonna do lerp times 0.5 again. And let's see how that looks. Still turns around very quickly. This is gonna be easier to look at if we also fix, because we have another issue with this, right? Because he will only attack once because it's never resetting the actual attack. So we have some options here. So after this we want to set the NPC state, but this is not what we're gonna do because this is a bad solution. I'm just doing this to test. So after 1 second we're gonna set it back to none. And it should just keep ticking again. Yeah. Maybe not 1 second. 2 seconds. That's more closely to what we want, but we want some attack tracing as well, though. Oh, this is fine. I'm just thinking, let me pause for 1 second. All right. I realized something. Yeah, it works as intended, but we kind of don't want this. It's not, it doesn't look very nice. And there's no actual attack tracing, it's just turning towards us at the beginning of the attack. So what we probably want to do is change this so that this this doesn't trigger at the beginning of the attack. We want it to trigger at a certain point in the attack, likely after we have telegraphed and stuff like that. So we will simply make a animation state. Animation. Let's just copy one of these. State attack rotate. And Let's make a for the NPCs. Blueprint interface, BPI MPC. Call set attack rotate. And an input of rotate. This state. Can you call set attack rotate? So on begin we want to set it to true, and on end we want to set it to false. And in our master NPC we want to add the interface. NPC, the one we just made. And then we want to in this utility tick we don't want to do this. Event call set attack rotate. Let's make a custom event here called NPC. We can make this server as well. And this will stop the timeline. Gonna get this, I'm gonna collapse it to a function called get target rotation, make it a pure function. So if this starts, do this, but if it's false, we do NPC stop rotation. Comment stuff out. Get some colors. There you go, that's an explanation. So now we just need to actually add the state to the attack animation. And the attack animation is hard-coded for now. State attack rotate. You see what I mean? Because this part here, up until something like here, is telegraphing, right? So we don't want to rotate necessarily during that part. we want it to rotate during a part of the attack. So let's see if that works. That's actually better if it works as intended. And then what we need to add here is actually a check so that the character doesn't start to attack if we are the opposite direction. Then we should just chase the player instead. Why is that failing now? It should always be. I'm gonna ignore that for now because the video is already 31 minutes and we will fix it in a future video. We also want to fix the delay that we input between the attacks. I'm gonna do that in the next video. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. I will see you in the next one.